All right, hey futures folks, this is Jack, and welcome to your February 24th. It's the last Friday of February, uh, weekly update, and I wanted to show you a chart on the dollar on the right hand side here. Nice little move here, causing kind of a headache for anyone bullish on equities, but kind of gives you an idea of inside this green box right here. This is a a huge move in the dollar that's certainly put a bunch of overweight, uh, you know, overhead resistance on the Nasdaq, S&Ps, all things equities. My question is this going to revert to the mean again and go back to 103? If it does, what it means, or what it could mean, is the daily 100 here on the left-hand side and the daily 200 are about to intersect within a squeeze on the histogram. So if you're following the story, come check us out on Monday in the day trading room or the futures room, and we're going to discuss why it might make sense to just let this trade lower on Monday. I'm fearful, it's a healthy fear, but fearful of 3,900 and 3,925, but hoping for a bounce off of those two little levels there. Anything above 39.50 for a Friday still makes me want to try to buy the dip, because what we're trying to see is the entire forest and just not one tree. So trying to see what's been accumulating ever since October, which is higher lows and higher highs, even though it's been kind of trivial at times, especially December, especially now as we've getting through the back end of February, and we've completely erased all the gains that we've had for the past 2 weeks, really. So 4,200 was on the right path to get to 4,300, but we're taking a little bit of a break, and you can kind of see a pattern breaking down here. You've got nice consolidation and distribution there, consolidation, distribution here, same thing here. But over 5 months, we've been actually taking out a very slow, choppy high. So my take on this right now is, even though we could trade Monday or Tuesday below 39.50 and maybe retest 3900, I think that would be the end of this cycle. So it's a buy side type scenario that we're walking into March, which is going to be the first day on Wednesday, March 1st. So it kind of makes sense to say, all right, let's see what materializes over the first 48 hours of next week. And if we are lower, it doesn't necessarily mean that we should be selling this market, but actually the last phase of the consolidation that we've seen really since the mid-January area, whenever we started to really kind of get a little bit more volatile, but at the end of the day, really not even get close to being above 4,200 or even 4,150. So one small cycle at a time. We've had about 3 of them where we slowly take out the most recent high. And you might be thinking, well, 39.25 is an important level as well. We'll be looking at all this stuff in the futures room, no problem. We'll be looking at all this stuff very closely and kind of correlating it the way we typically do. The dollar's had a nice run. A reversion to its mean would also mean about 103, and that would just mean a general direction going lower in the dollar would be good for equities across the board. So we're past earnings, we're past FOMC minutes, we're past rate hike announcements and all that kind of stuff. We do have FOMC later on in March. I believe it's on the 22nd. And so what I'm thinking is letting this bullish cycle start to redevelop, and giving the market time to do that, and at the same time letting gold and silver continue to kind of consolidate as well, because they are the heartbreaker precious metals. But there's been an interesting development in gold and silver. Gold has a monthly squeeze. We could give that forever to fire, but silver has also been consolidating around 21, and it's really not gone anywhere, even though it also has its own little bearish cycle as well. So you've had this one big loop going higher and then going lower. And I think what happens to be the case is we might have to clear this gap up right here that we had in the beginning of November. So silver back down to 1942, very possible, very possible. The S&P is back down to 3,900, very possible. So I kind of like where we're sitting. You know, if you've been wanting to be long the market and you've been very patient, you know, we might have a nice little invitation to buy it come Wednesday, the first day of March, or some point next week. And that includes gold and silver. So kind of an interesting situation here where things could get a little bit interesting once we clear out all the weak hands across the board. So it is straightforward this week. There's not a whole lot that I'm deviating into. You know, I'm not looking into natural gas going negative or anything like that. But, you know, natural gas can't get out of its own way. You can see this daily chart. The question mark that I have is, you know, when is it, at any point, when is it a buyable situation? And right now, I think I'm just happy just being on the sidelines. You know, this is not a chart that I want to step in and try to buy. And there's just not really much here. So I've been asked about natty gas, and I'm just going to go, you know, I'll let others kind of address it. I'm still thinking that it's somewhat untradeable. You know, one way or the other, just kind of, it's just a big headache. It's a nasty chart, and just too much geopolitical stuff and macro involved, and you know, it's not our gold and silver darlings, precious metals. So we'll talk about all this stuff on Monday. You know, hopefully we do get a little bit more of a gap down. That would clear the story for me. That would kind of create a little bit more of an opportunity that we don't really have to hesitate to jump into. I mean, it's just 39.25 and 3,900. If we are lower, it's for a reason, but it doesn't mean that we're falling apart. It just means that, hey, you know, we've got some more room to go in a healthy way to kind of reset the setting and the table for March and the following, you know, few 30 days from there too, before it might make sense to short this thing, but we're not there yet. So we'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, and we'll figure it out then.
Thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed the video, be sure to like and comment down below to help us out. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you can get notified when we release our next video. And if you want to watch us trade in real time using our own money, go to simplertrading.com to learn how to sign up. Good trading, and we'll see you in the next video.